Romeo's objective is to kiss Juliet. He'll hopefully know if he achieved that. And to achieve that objective, he's going to use something called tactics, which is how you get there. So it could be that he climbs the balcony, it could be that he smiles at her, it could be something he says, anything. But you're going to keep trying different tactics until you can say that you've achieved that objective. So take that and think about how you could use that on like inside sales, which is where I would teach that. So like inside sales reps, making calls all day, using the same script and expecting to get different results. What I would do is have them work through and have written down like an arsenal of tactics to use so that when they're not getting that objective, it's like switch, try something else. And I wouldn't have had that vocabulary or that knowledge had I not come from theater. So even though that came from a massive failure for me, I put tons and tons of time and effort into this degree that I'm still paying off student loan debt for. My career unequivocally started with a massive failure. But had I not had that failure, I wouldn't be able to bring that knowledge into my current success. So I would encourage you to think of some of those things that you've maybe given up in your past, some of you who maybe were athletes, and how you could bring that into the corporate space, because you'd be surprised how much it translates. And we can talk about that a little bit in our breakout sessions. So how will you bring your weird to work? Number one, you have to speak up. Nobody's going to know that you're a huge Star Wars fan if you don't wear the t-shirt. So thank you for doing that. Speak up about what you like. Even if other people are not into it, just the fact that you have an interest that you're willing to share, suddenly you go from being corporate employee 59997 to like a human being. And everyone would rather connect with a human being. It's why we talk about stupid stuff at the water cooler, because we're just trying to connect to each other. Ask, hey Jake, when you decided that you wanted to take a month off from work to do 2 months off from work to do your bike-a-thon, how did that come about?
Well, my boss said great, and...
But your boss said great because you...
wanted to follow my dreams.
Yes, but what did you do first?
Achieve goals?
You asked. You asked. You asked.
I asked.
See, this is like, last time when I was here, I like prepped him for his little moment. This time I was like, we're gonna try improv. Didn't work, Jake. Next time you're replaced if I do get to that. But yes, you had to ask though, right? Like that was the first thing. You're like, I had this wacky idea.
I asked.
Yeah.
What did she say?
She didn't say anything. He said, that's great. Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams.
That's not what you told me.
And not only was he able to follow his dreams, the company helped pay for it. So that was like a lovely bonus, right? Or helped fundraise for it.
They did help fundraising. They jumped on board right after the first article came out because it was great publicity for the company as well as for
it wasn't altruistic it was still, and my point though, Jake, and you are fired. Never again. Your I-level academy career with me is over. Yes, maybe not totally altruistic and there are reasons for doing it, but they did say yes to an idea that could have been pretty out there. And the worst that could have happened is that they said no. So I think just asking when you have a great idea is the first step. Find inspiration around you. So if you don't have passion, if you don't have something that you're passionate about right off the bat that you think of that you can bring to work, start looking for things, start trying new things, and bring it into your workspace. I know it's cheesy, but I find decorating my space in a way that makes me happy and feel creative just makes my day better. And it's an easy talking point. Like the kid in our office who has a bunch of action figures at his desk gets tons of conversation and connections from people just because they come over and talk to him. Is that you? Are you the action figure? No? You're like, no, I'm the guy who teases the action figure. Don't be that. Don't be a bully. Don't be like that.
I can't.
Which brings us to being inclusive. So be inclusive of others' stuff, others' weird, everyone's got their own thing going on, everyone's got their own weird, their own passions. maybe it's not your thing. Maybe hearing me talk about Star Trek made you like want to cringe into a little ball of like, oh my god, I can't believe she's publicly exclaiming that. But if you just start like, cool, that's your thing, that's not my thing, but we're all good, everyone gets along much, much better, and it's a more inclusive, connected space. Be passionate. If you look at corporate websites, and every corporate website has like their company values, it's amazing how many of them have passion listed as a value. And if you think about work in, baby boomer generation, and how different it was, now culture has become such a big part of the workforce. Anytime you look at a company website under careers, they're gonna have some picture of people playing foosball or dressed up for Halloween or doing something to be like, hey, we're weird and different. Come work for us. We like you to be weird and different. Maybe it's not true, but they're trying to promote that idea because the workforce is changing. And the way that the workspace looks and the way that we can be in the workspace is changing. And it's totally evidenced by all of you in this room and all of your stone cold weirdness, and I love it. So don't be afraid to be passionate. You don't have to be quiet anymore. You don't have to be the empty suit. So be brave, guys. Today could be the day that you could come out of the nerd closet or some other kind of weird closet or talk about some great weird thing that you want to do. I'm hoping that we'll have all right, I was like, and I probably shouldn't have said it that way. I'm hoping that in our breakout sessions, we're gonna get real weird together and we're gonna really dive in there. So be brave, it's a safe space. Eye level in general, I find to be just like such an inclusive, warm group of people. This is like the only office I could do this and not just be like ridiculed completely. So I really, really appreciate it. And because I'm a wacko thespian, oh no, I'm gonna end with a poem. Blessed are the weird people, the poets and misfits, the artists, the writers and music makers, the dreamers and the outsiders, for they force us to see the world differently. So guys, please, let your freak flag fly today and let's get weird. All right, thank you. Keep your hands up. Questions?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
So just out of curiosity, for like new curriculum that's created, such as this, is this the first time?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you were
Yeah.
giving it to someone coworker. Like, how did this curriculum, why was this created? Like, was there a need from inner workings, like, or was eye level asking?
Good question. So I spoke at eye level a couple months ago, and that was like a request based on a need. And then when I talked to Lenka about coming back, she, said, what would you want to talk about? And I talked about a couple different things. And I had this kind of in my toolkit for a while about something that I thought I wanted to do. And I thought that eye level would be the right audience for it. And I think I'm right. You guys are super, super cool. And like, you don't know, what you guys have here is special. And it is unique and it's precious. And I want to foster that and keep that going. So I thought this would really speak to the eye level culture. So it was specifically tailored just for eye level. I would love to like bring it to some other space, which is why Jake is recording it. So we can see if it could be used for something else or retooled or tweaked. But it was a very lucky treat for me that I got to just kind of have free range to pick whatever topic I wanted, and this felt like a good fit for eye level. We talked about maybe some like a sales thing, but that's too dry for eye level. You guys are like more shiny than that, But maybe next time we could do more of a.
I was just
more
curious how.
Yeah.
it was developed.
And actually, and I meant to mention this when I said ask, I did just ask Lenka, like very shortly